There are discoveries that shake music astronomy, discoveries that confuse astronomers. And then there are the discoveries that crack open the very floor beneath physics itself. Music, the kind of discoveries that force Nobel Prize winners to go quiet in interviews, that make cosmologists close their laptops and whisper, "This doesn't make sense." Music that make even the most confident defenders of the Big Bang stop mid-sentence because the data they are seeing simply should not exist. And the music James Webb Space Telescope has just delivered exactly that kind of discovery. Something so profoundly music contradictory, so violently incompatible with our current theories of galaxy formation, cosmic evolution, music, and the origin of matter itself, that scientists are being forced to admit reluctantly, nervously, and in some cases publicly, that something is fundamentally music wrong with the way we understand the early universe. Webb looked deeper than any instrument in human history. It looked beyond the cosmic dark music ages into a region where the first flickers of starlight were supposed to appear. And instead of finding faint primitive music baby galaxies slowly forming out of hydrogen clouds, Webb found monsters, music hyperbright, perfectly structured, impossibly massive objects that should not exist for another billion music years. Objects that are not behaving like galaxies, not forming like galaxies, music not evolving like galaxies, objects that may not be galaxies at all. And as these images came in one after another, each one breaking a music-different piece of the cosmological model, one realization began spreading across the scientific community like a quiet shockwave. James Webb didn't just reveal new objects. Music, it shattered physics. It all started with a single object, a small yellow blob hidden in one of Webb's deep field images, barely noticeable among music thousands of faint specks. There was no reason to think it was anything special. Nothing about it screamed cosmic music anomaly, except for one detail that refused to be ignored. It was too bright, not just slightly unusual bright. It was bright in a way that violated every luminosity music model we have for the early universe. Astronomers initially assumed it was closer, a trick of distance, the kind of misjudgment that happens all the time in deep cosmology. But spectroscopy music ruined that assumption instantly. The redshift was enormous. The distance was real. And suddenly they were staring music at the most distant galaxy ever observed, existing when the universe was only 290 million years old. But it didn't look like a baby music galaxy. It didn't look primitive or small or chaotic. It looked structured, massive, fully formed, a veteran in an era where music only newborns should exist. And this is the moment when panic began to spread quietly music behind the scenes. Because if even one fully formed galaxy existed at that time, then everything we know about early universe physics is wrong. And within music days, Webb revealed that it wasn't alone. Not a fluke, not a one-off, but the first in a music flood of objects that defy every rule in our cosmic playbook. Deep fields from James Webb are supposed to be windows into cosmic infancy. Quiet, faint, music scattered points of light representing the earliest baby steps of structure formation. But when Webb turned its infrared eyes toward one of the darkest corners of the cosmos, what it saw was not music infancy. It was maturity, activity, complexity. Webb found thousands of strange objects in these deep fields. And the more astronomers examined them, the more they realized they weren't looking at early galaxies at all. These objects are too music bright, too compact, too massive, too organized. They do not match any known form of proto-galaxy from standard cosmology. And the worst part, they appear everywhere in the early universe. Not one anomaly, not two, but an entire population of cosmic structures that simply should not exist at that time. A recent study found 87 potential galaxies formed between 200 and 400 million years after the Big Bang. A number so absurdly music high that it directly contradicts the lambda CDM model, the foundation of modern cosmology. One of the study's authors admitted openly, even if only a few of these are real, we must rethink galaxy formation entirely. And this is the unbearable truth. Webb is not revealing a slow-growing universe. It is revealing a music universe that appears to have skipped the opening chapters entirely. A universe that looks too old at the edges. A universe that matured too fast. A universe that is behaving as if the Big Bang timeline is either incomplete or wrong. Music as if bright, massive early objects weren't enough. Webb discovered something far more disturbing, something that violates basic physics. In every known galaxy today, only about 10% of the gas ever turns into stars. That limit is so stable, so universal, so music deeply baked into astrophysics that it's considered a cosmic rule. But Webb has now identified 3 early objects where 100% of the gas has turned into stars. Every atom, every molecule, every music particle converted. This is impossible under current physics. A galaxy cannot burn all its material instantly. It needs time to cool, music collapse and fragment. It needs cycles of starburst and quenching. But Webb's objects behave like they were assembled by an entirely different process. A process that does not appear anywhere in modern astrophysics. These objects are not behaving like galaxies. They are behaving like something else entirely, something we don't even have terminology for. Some music scientists now quietly suggest that these might not be galaxies at all, but an unknown category of cosmic object that predates every model we've developed. And that possibility is scarier than any anomaly so far, because it means we aren't just missing details. Music, we may be missing an entire chapter of cosmic evolution. For almost a century, we have believed that distant galaxies recede from us because the universe is expanding. And we know that the farther away an object, music, is, the faster it moves, some even faster than the speed of light. According to relativity, these galaxies should be invisible because their light should never reach us. But Webb sees them.